What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 6 of Hit the Books, the podcast here to give you all the sports news, sports talk, sports gambling, sports trends, sports coverage, you name it in sports, and we at Hit the Books want to deliver it to you each and every week. Do not forget to check us out on our various social media platforms. The link is available in the description below. Lots of good stuff out of the first 3 weeks of the NFL. Week 4 coming in hot. Not too much from me, but without further ado, let's introduce my co-host. Very excited to be doing weekly episodes with these boys. Let's start off with Mackie. Mackie, you're on fire, buddy. I don't know exactly what your record is, but dang. Keep it up. What's happening? What's your keys to success?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm having a good year so far in the NFL. Can honestly say I should be over 10 units. That 2-unit under in that Monday Night Football game with the Giants-Cowboys kind of screwed me. I lost by half a point. But it is what it is. I'm still up over 6 units. Just stick with us. We're having a decent year gambling right now. So, well plays every week, and let's get going.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Ace, you're next. Week 4, the NFL is here. What's up, my guy?
Yeah, week 4, in the full swing of the football season here. We've had a lot of picks going in our primetime games, Sunday games. So definitely keep track of those. We have a lot more coming at you, a lot of good matchups. We've seen a lot of upsets early, kind of been burning Huff and I, but we're ready to bounce back for the rest of the season, so I'm ready to get going today.
I'm with you. You took a little bit of a dump here this weekend, but you're coming back. Huff, you got to pick it up, buddy. I'm kind of disappointed in you, but that's all I got for you. Give us the rundown. What's happening?
I mean, a bounce back weekend. I mean, after the start of the season, I had to go 2-1 this weekend. I'll take it. Got the lucky interception on Daniel Jones' final play of the game on Monday night against the Cowboys. Had the under 203, ended with 196. So, Mackie, we were talking about that one a little before. Ended up hoping that's going to be the end. I'm kind of leaning on most of my plays coming up as I'm looking to come back from some of these units I lost early on, but. Other than the NFL, we had a tough loss in the NFL or NCAA this weekend. USC -6 on Saturday night against Oregon State. Won the game by 3, didn't cover, but tough loss on that one. Our college card's still doing pretty all right. I think we're sitting right around even units right there. So, and then last night 2-0 on the MLB card with the Yankees and Padres. A nice 2-unit night last night in the MLB. But yeah, not much else coming from me. Looking to keep things rolling in the direction I started or kind of kept things going in week 3. So, hoping to keep building back up. But yeah, that's it for me.
Good stuff, boys. I am very excited for yet another week in the NFL. All right, let's jump right into week 4 here with the Thursday night game, the Miami Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals. This week, the Bengals are favorited at -3.5. Their money line at -200 and the over-under sitting at 46.5. Miami's money line at +168. I got a couple trends here for this game. The under is 10-2 in Cincinnati's last 12 games. The Bengals are 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 conference games. The Dolphins are 11-1 straight up in their last 12. The Dolphins are 1-11 straight up in their last 12 games played in week 4. So some uncertainty there in week 4 for the Dolphins. But what do we think? Huff, you want to start us off with this one?
Yeah, I guess so. Thursday Night Football, we got another pretty good primetime matchup with the Dolphins and Bengals coming up tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Like you said, Bengals a 3.5-point favorite, the -120. Obviously, a lot of question marks around how ready is Tua, if that bounce back with the I believe, Mackie, you were the one that sent it to us. You said he had a concussion or left the game. We started talking about Teddy Bridgewater coming in, but obviously we saw Tua come back in and get the win against Buffalo. Now coming up to Cincinnati. Cincinnati got the wheels back under them last week against the Jets. Tough spot here for the spread. I think Cincinnati wins the game. I saw it earlier on this week. The spread was at 2.5, and I loved Cincinnati by the field goal at home. The 3.5's a little tough. I'd maybe buy it and go Bengals -3. I do like them on their home field to get back to 2-2. But I don't know which way you guys are leaning, Mackie. Who are you feeling, Burrow or you like Tua here? Stay undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, not many times you see a Week 4 matchup with a team that's 3-0 being +3 against a team that's 1-2. But as we know, we've seen a lot of weird things happen this season already. Nobody expected the Bengals to start 1-2. Tua's injury was actually not a head injury, even though he got up wobbling. They said it was a back injury, which I don't know, doesn't really make much sense to me, but whatever.
The way his head hit the ground, though, did you see his head smack the
Yeah,
ground?
yeah, I think it's to save their ass because you're not supposed to just throw a quarterback right in there after a head injury like that. It's supposed to be like protocol. You're supposed to miss the entire game no matter what. So I think they're kind of covering their own asses right now, saying it was a back injury.
And now the
But-
NFL launched an investigation into that.
Exactly. So they can be in some serious trouble about that. But back to the game. I think even if Tua plays, this line really won't move that much. Maybe 2.5, or it'll move to like 3, 2.5. But Bengals will definitely still be favored. I like the Bengals on their home field this week. I think Dolphins, they're a good team, but they're not a team that's going to go start off the season 8-0 or nothing like that. So this will they'll find their first loss on a primetime Thursday night game, and I think it'll be a slow game. I think it goes under as well, but I think the Bengals come out on top. 3 points is a little scary though. I'll probably just what's the money line sitting now, like 200?
Minus 200.
Yeah, it's a little much. I don't know. Just for the sake of it, I'll just give Bengals money line.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of leaning.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to be on the Bengals this week heavy here, coming off of a big win against those New York Jets, right? So they should be ready to go here at home. But the thing you have to be looking at is getting plus odds for one of the only undefeated teams in the NFL. They just came off of a week where they beat the Buffalo Bills, arguably the best team in the league. So I wouldn't be taking them so lightly like you guys seem to be. I don't know if you saw Tyreek Hill's quotes this week. He was talking about how he owes Eli Apple some work. So I'm expecting a lot of points to come flying off that Miami sideline. Definitely leaning more on the over than picking a side here. I think it's going to be a shootout. And we've seen how bad Joe Burrow and the boys can shit the bed against some poor competition this year. I think he lost to Cooper Rush. He lost to a terrible Steelers team. No offense, boys. It's Joe Burrow, though. Obviously, we saw what he did last year. So that's why it's tough to really side someone here. I mean, I'm leaning Miami, but coming off of a short week after such a big game in Buffalo, or at home against Buffalo, I think their focus might not have been as much on the Bengals as it should be. So I'm leaning more on the over if I'm taking a pick here, leaning Cardinals, and looking for Tyreek Hill to pop off, maybe get in the end zone once or twice.
You mean leaning Dolphins?
Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, leaning Dolphins, what did I say there?
Cardinals.
Yeah, always got the Cardinals on my boy,
Jumping
Kyler Murray. Leaning Dolphins, though, for sure. Don't know if I'm going to hammer him.
I like that over. I do like the over.
Yeah, I think those two offensive coordinators like to put a lot of faith in their quarterback's hands, and it's proved well so far. Two of the leading passer in the league. Two weak defenses, weaker secondaries. I think the Dolphins actually have a stronger defense, though, in my opinion. So
If two is full go, I think I think if you're taking a spread, I like the Dolphins at plus 3.5, and it looks like you might be able to get plus 4 if you wait. But
It's at +4 on DraftKings.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's been moving, man. It's been moving. It started at 3. Now it's
one
at
of
4.
two undefeated
Yeah.
teams in the league. Like it or not, you have to respect them a bit. I mean, they just beat the Buffalo Bills, who we were pegging as Super Bowl champions since early May.
Here's a quick stat, though, for you guys that like the over. Bengals are 3-0 on the under this year, and obviously we know primetime games are like 10-3 on the under.
yeah, they're all under.
That's a good stat, Mackie. Maybe I'm actually going to stay away from that over for sure now with that primetime stat. Actually not betting that at all. With the matchup itself, I'd lean it. But yeah, Thursday Night Football, teams play slow coming off a short week.
A 1 o'clock game, the total is probably 52, 53.
Yeah.
46.
No, I'm saying for like a 1 if this
Oh,
is a 1 o'clock
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Not too high, but I like to bet with the streak. I didn't even think of that one. That was one of my points coming into this week. But yeah, Thursday Night Football. I do think Tyreek Hill has a day, though. What do you guys think?
I think he has to now at this point.
Yeah, he has to.
To back up his
Even if he doesn't
thoughts on
say
it.
that, I feel like he has to, right? He's burnt too many
He
valid
said it's
corners all year.
72.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, that's no.
Eli Apple's also like a bum. Like he's not one of the top.
But
players in the league.
even if you have Jalen Ramsey out there, I still expect Tyreek Hill to have a big game, especially against the Cincinnati Bengals. He's eaten every game this year. I mean, what's his name? McDaniel's down in Miami. He just loves to funnel the ball to his best players, and Waddle and Tyreek do so much with that yak. So I don't know. I love that play this week. I like him to get in the end zone as well. I think he's sitting at like plus 130.
It's cool to have someone like Waddle on the other side of the field who literally mirrors Tyreek Hill. So
Yeah, it draws coverage. It's so nice. They have perfect. I mean, scary to bet over props, but hey, Tua's the leading passer in the NFL. Maybe we have to give him a little bit more respect, right?
How long is that gonna last? Though
Well, it's all scheme. How much do they run the ball? They might run the ball if they don't power run at all. Everything's out of shotgun.
Seems to be working.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think Mike McDaniel's the offense he brought in. Those wide receiver totals are going to keep going up every week. So yeah, lean Dolphins, but peep my picks on Thursday for some good props.
Interesting stuff there, boys. I'm excited. It's going to be a good Thursday night matchup, as Huff said. So let's jump into our Sunday morning matchup there over there in London, England. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are not favorited. The Vikings are favorited at -2.5. Their money line sitting at -138, and the over/under sitting at 43.5. The Saints money line at +118. I think I'm going to lean Saints money line here because the Saints are 18-1 straight up in their past 19 games in October, and 23-6 against the spread in their last 29 in October. So that +2.5 is also very appetizing. The Vikings have won 5 straight, 4-1 against the spread in their past 5 as the favorite. So also very appetizing there for the Vikings. What do we think, Mackie? You want to start us off?
Here's a question. Is this considered a primetime game for Kirk Cousins?
No.
Because
no.
that
It's the
is
only
a
game
decision
on.
maker for me. Because
It's the
that
only
is a
game on.
decision maker
No,
for
I just
me.
think the dark sky scares them.
It could be that as well. I don't know. So if this is a 1 o'clock game, I mean, I'm taking Saints all day, but the primetime Vikings all day, but the primetime kind of scares me. I really like the under. I feel like every time there's a London game, you wake up around 10:30. They're in the second quarter. It's like
The
3-0.
Lunder.
I like that. The
Yeah,
London.
Lunder.
the Lunder.
Everyone-
I like that. I've never heard that. Yeah, dude. I feel like every time there's a game in London, you wake up, the score is like 7-3 in the third quarter. Or
Someone
something.
gets a
It's just slow
safety.
game. It's such a slow game. It's such a bad game. So I feel like this game definitely goes under. I'm gonna go Vikings -2.5. I think they get it done here. Saints looked like dog shit the last 2 weeks, putting up 0 points. Jameis Winston. Did you see the 1 touchdown pass he threw? He threw it into like quadruple coverage. The guy just made an insane grab. I mean, he just looks awful. He looks nothing like I expected him to look this year. So Saints don't look good at all. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm
pick
right.
with the
I'm right there
Vikings.
with you.
I like that pick with the Vikings. Huff, what do you got?
Yeah, I just like the Vikings. I'll take the money line -138.
I mean, you guys were high on Jameis at the beginning of the season too, right? It wasn't just me. I thought he would be better than this.
I
He's
didn't think.
pedestrian
I
at
just
best.
am not too high on that Saints team.
Dude, he's bad. He
You know
looks
what
really
though?
bad.
You got to think Alvin Kamara is going to get going at some point. I know he's not fully healthy and all that, but right?
I feel like you got to get the pass game going a little more to get the run game going at
Yeah,
all.
but isn't he like the best player on their team? One of the best running backs in the league. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know, dude. He was the last few years, but I don't know if he's one of the
he's
best
banged
running
up.
backs in the
He's
league right
banged
now.
up. You can tell. Didn't he sit a week already this year, or almost did? Week 2, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. So running back injuries are nothing to take lightly. Same thing on the other side of the ball with Dalvin Cook. I wonder if he's going to suit up, and if he does, at what percent he's going to be playing at after those injuries last week. Alexander Madison, definitely a valid running back to come off the bench. Many teams target him highly in the offseason. But I'd have to think that Justin Jefferson has a big game here. After two straight weeks of being locked up by Okuda and Slay, I know he's going to see probably Lattimore here, right? But you got to think Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins get it going again. They look so prolific against the Packers early on. They're probably circling this game on their calendar. Much more veteran team, so I know Kirk isn't big in the prime time, but like I said, I don't treat this as a prime time game. I think the early morning sunshine helps him out. Maybe he wakes up a little bit. He's an old guy, so he's getting a little tired at night, I think. But yeah, I think he's getting the boys more rallied up than Jameis is on the other side. Jameis Winston hasn't looked too great this year, and we know his tendency to throw interceptions. That pass rush from the Vikings will be getting after it all day. So I like the Vikings -2 here. Definitely gonna buy that half point. Got to always. I like the -138 that Huff had too. That's a great money line to sit on if you're just looking to play it straight up. I like Justin Jefferson here too as well for sure.
I'm gonna take your logic on that, Ace. It's not a primetime game. He's got the sun out.
Yeah.
He'll be back to normal Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it's
Normal
gonna think
1
it's gonna
o'clock
be
Kirk Cousins.
It'll be like 1 p.m. in London.
Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
looks like
that's true.
a guy that wants to play in London too. So
It's not going to be 9:30 a.m. in London too. Like,
No, but the thing
there
is
a
that it's prime
difference.
time. The only thing is that it's prime time. It's the only game on. It's the only game anyone's watching. That's what I think gets to him.
you know another stat that I'd really like to look at. Not even a stat, but another point I'd like to bring up. Saints have a first-year head coach. I know he's been with the organization, but I'm gonna. Who's the Vikings coach right now? Somebody got that? Huff, you know?
What's his name? O'Connell.
That guy, he's been
Kevin
there.
O'Connell.
He's been there.
Yeah, he's been there. I mean, the Saints head coach, Vikings head coach. I mean, nothing crazy to look at, but Saints first-year head coach. I mean, it's another thing to not take lightly.
The Vikings head coach O'Connell. People are pretty high on him.
Is that the Rams OC?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait, it's not that guy that's been there?
No, I think
Because
they
that
got-
wasn't his name.
I think
don't
it's his first. No, I think it's his first year as Vikings head coach.
I'm thinking of that older guy. I forget his
Mike
name
Zimmer?
too. It was like Zucker or something.
Mike Zimmer.
No, I know who you're thinking of.
Mike Zimmer.
Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer, yeah. Yeah, no, I actually didn't even know that Kevin O'Connell was their coach.
We're gonna see a squeaky wheel treatment though for Justin Jefferson here. I guarantee it. He's been frustrated with his offensive production the last few weeks. So one of the best receivers in the league. He's gonna get after it.
I'm with you, Ace.
No Dalvin Cook too. That you have to get him the ball more, right?
I think we'll see a Justin Jefferson gritty in London.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're waking up.
Oh, that's bound
You're
to
waking
happen.
up to early
That's
red
bound to
zone
happen.
to Justin Jefferson grittying in the end zone. Like I that was my point earlier. I forgot to say it. Like you're gonna wake up, you're gonna see Yahoo Fantasy Justin Jefferson touchdown. Mackie wakes up at like noon, so maybe he'll be asleep for that game.
The game will be over by
Mackie
then.
barely wakes up with a 1 o'clock slate.
I have to wake up and then like go back to sleep to get my picks in.
Huff, he's only up early when those New York teams are playing.
Yeah, when the Jets are in a primetime game.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, you know I love my Jets and Giants.
You
Yeah.
can't get enough of them.
Jets, Jags,
Mackey's
his
Jets,
favorite.
Mackey's Giants, nothing more.
He was in a tough spot on Monday with that Giants Cowboys game.
Yeah, but
Guys, I hate the Giants.
That was the Mackey game of the week.
yeah, he's just mad that Cooper Rush is doing well. Future.
No, I'm mad that that fucking total hit 39.
Craziness.
You know what's funny is that when I was making the card, I like put in 39 and I was like, wait, I think it's at 38 and a half. Let me go check. And it was at 38 and a half. And I was like, this isn't going to fucking matter.
Hey Huff, what about that under last week on the Steelers Browns game? That had a crazy ending too. If you teased it, I know that you guys took it straight up, but even those who teased it missed out
Yeah.
with that play at the end.
Yeah.
Stuff
And
like that you can't account
was
for.
Fucking, those two games, yeah, that you definitely can't account for. But those primetime games that start out so slow, I'm always sitting there at halftime. I'm like, damn, I wish I took the under. And then both team comes out with a scripted drive to start the second half. Touchdown. I'm like, okay, all of a sudden a 3-3 game is now 10-10. And then, boom, someone scores another touchdown. It's like 17-10. You got, like, Mackie, you were sitting at under 38. Someone made a field goal. I'm like, oh, this is going to get fucked. And then that's exactly what happened.
Hey, as long as you're not Russell Wilson in the prime time.
I bet that under with you. I didn't put it on my card, but I bet that under, and I was like, we just lost by a half point.
Huff, you told me under 19 and a half first half. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to go full game.
Yeah,
Go full game.
and I
Yeah,
went
let's
with
go
you.
fucking full
I didn't
game.
even think about that.
You know, you can't win them
Terrible.
all.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
all right.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Yes,
beats are a part of it.
always. Can't get away from them. All right, good stuff out of that game. Out of London. Let's come back to the States with the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts for our first Sunday 1 o'clock game. Colts are favored this week. Spread at -3. Their money line at -174, and the total at 42.5. No trends from me for this game, so let's shoot over to Ace. Ace, what do you think?
Colts Titans, good divisional matchup here. Two teams that really need a win, right? We saw both of them grab one last week. Titans getting that much needed first win against the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders, and Indianapolis getting one against Patrick Mahomes, one of the hottest teams in the NFL right there. So definitely good to see those two teams playing well. 3.5 point spread is seems like a lot in the divisional
Just 3.
game. Oh, is it 3? I got 3.5 here. I'm on the ESPN app.
All right, yeah, it's I got 3 on FanDuel, so 3.
Yeah, I love 3, actually. I was about to say, I'd buy the half a point anyways. I actually think coming into the year, everybody was so high on the Colts, me included. After that first week with the tie and then another letdown game in the following week, everybody's jumped off the wagon. After a big win against Patrick Mahomes, I love them in this spot here to cover those 3 points. I don't know about you guys. I mean, Jonathan Taylor should shred. We'll see a big running battle between Henry and Taylor, but I think they bounce back with Pittman being healthy and the Colts playing some better football after coming off that big win last week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And the Titans, both these teams coming off a win. Titans getting their first win of the year, but yeah, I like the home team. Divisional matchup. I knew I usually say give the points instead of taking a divisional matchup, but I like the Colts at -3. I think there's a chance this ends up pushing at a field goal win, but yeah, I do like the Colts to come out on their home field and take care of business. Like you said, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. I'll take Jonathan Taylor. I know they're not going head-to-head, but Derrick Henry just hasn't really looked himself this year, and now the Titans lose Taylor Lewan for the year. But to talk on the Colts, Mackie, we called that game last week, huh? Neither of us were ballsy enough to take it, but we called that game to a T. We said, watch them win.
Loved them last week.
You would never see me put that on a card, but you know, I'm all for fading the public like that, especially when it's that dramatic. What was that, like 94% or something?
91 or 92.
Yeah,
That's literally what we
ridiculous.
said. We were talking about it when it was like 92. We were literally like, yeah, yep.
Yeah, same.
Like, there's no.
Yeah, that you can't always ride that though, Mac. You had Bengals Jets last week, and the Bengals rolled.
No, you definitely can't always ride it. That's why I didn't really put it on my card. But like, I'm not going. I would never take a Chiefs -5 right there when there's 91% of the bets on.
Agreed.
But in this game, I mean, this is a divisional matchup. You probably expected this to be like the two top teams in the division coming into the week. Really good game coming in, but we're looking at both teams with 1 win. Colts are 1-1-1, Titans 1-2. Neither team really looks very good. It's a divisional game, low under. I'm definitely leaning Colts here just because they have the stronger defense at the end of the day, and that's enough to get by in a divisional matchup in this type of game. Derrick Henry has looked awful. This could be a really close game. I don't know about 3 points. Probably going to push. Could be a field goal at the end of the game, but I like the Colts here.
Yeah, and then another thing you got to look at, such a big game, like you were saying, Mackie, besides being a divisional matchup, a lot pegged this one as being a big one coming into the year as the two division leaders. And I think this week, whoever wins this game has a chance to claim first place in the AFC South. I think the Jaguars have a tough matchup that we'll touch on later.
I just don't think the Titans are doing anything this year. They eked out a win last week against the Raiders, and
They should be 2-1. Missed field goal cost them. Missed field goal cost them that
Giants.
win. Yeah, they missed a field goal.
I mean, yeah, they also had a 14-point lead for 80% of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kind of fumbled the bag with that game.
Yeah, but still, the Giants are not a good team. And who'd they lose to week 2?
The Titans.
I forget.
Somebody. No. Yeah, but either way, I agree they're not that good of a team. But I'm just saying they should be 2-1. I think they're due for a loss here to the Colts. I think the Colts are just a much better team on paper.
So who do you think comes out in this division right now?
I'd have to look at the schedules individually. I think if the Jaguars have a good schedule, I'd take them. What do you think about that pick?
Jaguars have the best defense out of any of these teams.
I think the Jaguars are going to win this division.
The best quarterback,
too. I think they would win it. Yeah, honestly, they're the most sound team right now.
The thing is, though, how do they fare in divisional games? I think Trevor Lawrence might need another year.
The thing is,
this is his first year.
With the Colts.
This is his first year. Last year was a shit show for him.
I don't think he'll have to run the division to win this division. I think he can go 3-3 in the division and still win this division.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. The Colts have that, or the Titans have that first place schedule. I think the Titans are pretenders, anyways. But the Colts, I don't know. Colts are where they team.
That tie is only going to help the Colts, but the Jags already whooped the Colts' ass 24-0.
Yeah, in a losing division, the tie is definitely a win.
That's a big game down the stretch the next time the Colts and the Jaguars meet. You would think if it's later in the season, I don't know what week they match up again, but you would think Matt Ryan should come out on top with all the weapons and defense he has as the veteran QB.
It'll be in Indy, too. It'll be in Indy.
Yeah, against a youthful Trevor Lawrence. Like, that's a throwaway game in week 2. You look back on it at the end of the schedule and you're like, that's why we missed the playoffs. You're the Colts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they ride that. They're riding high off that win last week. I think they take that into this game and cover the spread. 3 is a great line here, especially in a divisional game. You don't even have to buy the half a point. Give me the Colts -3. You might look at that on my card. The emergence of Michael Pittman as a true wide receiver 1 is insane too.
Yeah, you got a rusty quarterback back there.
Yeah, maybe that's why he started so slow, eh?
He didn't even play well last week.
Yeah, he hasn't even played his best football, and they're 1-1-1.
But no, it's not that he's not playing his best football. He's just not good anymore. Matt Ryan's not a good quarterback anymore.
Oh, I agree, but you don't think he can play better than he is?
But I think no, not really. But I think that they proved last week beating the Chiefs that they don't really need him to be an all-star quarterback to win games.
Is this how like non-Steeler fans felt about Ben last year? Like, but Matt Ryan's just this old fucking quarterback.
Ben hasn't been good in 3 years, dude.
I looked at Ben 10 times worse than I'm looking at Matt Ryan right now. I'll tell you that.
He should have retired. I don't get why these old guys do that. Like, retire.
Dude, that Steelers team last year, that season was so wasted. You guys were literally Super Bowl contenders with a mediocre quarterback.
Exactly.
You're the worst quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so like pissed off about like, okay, yeah, Ben's last season, let him do it, but no, you saw the Giants do it with Eli Manning for nothing. You think the Steelers can't do it with the best defense in the last 8 years, 10 years?
Yeah, another thing is too, why was the Steelers QB room so bad always? Like, you didn't go get like a Tyrod Taylor or Jacoby Brissett or someone that's valid as a backup?
We don't do runners.
They had too much faith in the rapist.
We don't do runners.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in Mitch Trubisky a year too late, actually, I think. If they had Mitch Trubisky a year or two ago, right when he left the Bears, that would have been elite. I would have liked him to start over Ben last year. But now you have Kenny Pickett. You have that QB controversy. It's way too much going on now.
Just start Kenny Pickett.
Our schedule's too hard to go to Pickett right now, I think.
Yeah, it's way too early.
So what, are you just going to keep losing games to Trubisky?
They're going to lose either way.
Let Trubisky...
Kenny Pickett's not.
Yeah, we're going to lose either way. Let Trubisky take this blame.
You don't know that.
He's not the savior.
I don't...
You have no idea. You can't tell me that there's no possibility that Pickett can come in and just light it up.
I mean, this week we have a decent matchup at home against the Jets, but like next week we're going to Buffalo, and then the week after we have the Bucs.
Why don't you let him gain his feet against the Jets? You can win that game even if he plays like shit.
I mean, the Steelers win games they're not supposed to all the time, but I'm not saying that's going to happen with a rookie quarterback coming in. So that'd be tough. It's literally kind of something like that could go so either way. You know what I mean? And like obviously, no one knows whenever you're going to go to someone when they're going to go to Pickett. So it's like,
I think it should be soon.
Yeah, I do too, but we'll see. We'll see when he ends up doing it.
Awesome, guys. Good stuff. Another 1 o'clock game we got going is the Chicago Bears at the New York Giants. Mackey's New York Giants coming in as the favorite this week at -3.5 points. Their money line sitting at -178, and the over/under sitting at 39.5. No trends for me from this game. Mackey, you want to start us off? Your New York Giants, hoping for a big game out of them this week as they are the favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, what are they, 3.5 point favorites?
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
I don't know. The Bears are, in my opinion, the worst team in the league.
You're right,
I don't know if you watched any of that Bears game last week, but dude, Justin Fields is just brutal. Overthrowing receivers 15 yards right into the safety's hands. Like, I think he did it like 2 or 3 times, to be honest.
Did you see he has like 27 pass completions through 3 weeks?
No, I didn't, but I saw he's missed the most. Like, he has like the most percentage missed passes or something like that.
Yeah, they've completed like under 30 passes total in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't think it's true. I don't think it's fully on Justin Fields.
It's definitely not fully on Justin Fields. That whole entire team is awful, but Justin Fields is not doing anything to help it. I think you put anybody else in that situation, and they're doing better than what Justin Fields is doing. He has 1 win this season in a game that literally shouldn't even count, considering it was like.
I disagree.
That
I
range
think
is ridiculous.
I disagree. I think he's better than the bottom 7 quarterbacks in the league.
Dude, Did you watch any of that game last week?
Have you seen the coaching staff, the offensive line, and playmakers that he has on both sides of the ball? He literally has
It doesn't. It has nothing to do with it. It matters him throwing 15 yards over the people's head right into the safety's hands. He did it multiple times. It wasn't even like once.
Yeah.
The only
I
thing
don't
he
like
can
his
do
play
as a
calling.
quarterback is scramble and run the ball.
I don't like
The
their
only
play
thing he can do
calling.
is scramble and run the ball.
He's also playing with
It
like.
doesn't matter. Okay, you have second and third options. You have checkdowns. You don't always go to your first option.
You know what I'm eager to see is when his rookie deal's done and that team's still in tank mode and he goes somewhere else and plays well.
He's never going to play well. There's nothing you can say to convince me that he's a good quarterback.
I
And I've had some faith in him.
I think
coming
he's
into the
comparable
year.
to Jalen Hurts.
That's actually astonishing that you're even saying that. I can't-
Not yet. I'm saying he
You
has
have
the
not
potential.
watched any Bears.
He has the potential to do it.
Dude, you
He's not doing
You
it right
cannot
now at
watch
all.
any Bears game this year.
Nobody could even play football behind that O-line with that coaching staff and the players they have on that Bears team. That's one of the worst teams in the league in the last 10 years.
I disagree. I think many quarterbacks could be a lot more successful than he is right now.
I don't think so at all. I'm not saying he's good. I think he's like 24th in the NFL.
You can't name 7 quarterbacks worse than him in the NFL.
I think he's better than Baker Mayfield. Not Baker Mayfield. All right, we'll go with
No, he's not.
Is he better than he's better than Mitch Trubisky for sure. He's better than
Yeah, okay,
That's one. He's better than Joe Flacco. He's better.
Joe Flacco's not a starting quarterback.
Would you rather have Justin Fields or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff is miles ahead of Justin Fields.
I'd rather
Jared Goff's
have-
been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. I like Justin.
Jared Goff's having a good year this year.
No, give me Justin.
He's not
Fields
a bad
for-
quarterback.
Justin Fields has potential, is all I'm saying. Yeah, he's playing terrible right now, but his
Dude,
potential.
go back and watch that game last week. Go back and watch that game last week and tell me that Justin Fields is a good quarterback.
I'm
You
not
literally
saying
can't.
he's a good
You
quarterback.
can't.
I'm saying the potential's there. I'd take him for a franchise
Saying-
for 2 to 3 years from now.
He doesn't. I genuinely don't even think he has potential.
Really, I do. I think he
He's
does.
a college quarterback. He's a college quarterback. That's what he is.
I think he could go start on some teams right now. He does. He's better than Geno Smith. He's better than let's see.
I actually don't think so. I don't think he's better than Geno Smith.
Maybe not.
I think Mitchell Trubisky is
Yeah,
probably the only
okay.
quarterback that he's better than.
But
the
the way that you're saying that though, like you're acting like you'd want those guys in your organization. I'd take Justin Fields over them any day. He has potential. Those guys are dead end quarterbacks.
I wouldn't before the season. I would say yes, but no, absolutely not.
Because you've seen 3 bad games in front of the worst team in the league with no help on anywhere on the ball. They don't even target Darnell Mooney, but they have head asses coaching on the sidelines.
I'm not talking about him having zero time to throw the ball. I'm talking about when he does have time to throw the ball and he's looking at a receiver cut across the middle in basically triple coverage and he misses him by 15 feet right into the safety's hands.
You think guys?
Yeah, that's all on him. That has nothing to do with the play call. If you have time to throw the ball, you can always have a second option.
Yeah, but like he
Or
said,
eat it.
like he said in the offseason,
You'd rather take a sack
like
than
he
throw
said in
an
the
interception.
offseason, these receivers aren't even close to anything he played with in college. He's playing with terrible wide receivers that don't run routes.
What are
the
you
right
talking
way.
about? Every single one of these receivers were the best receivers in college. You're telling me Darnell
That's
Mooney's
what
not
he
as
said.
good as...
They don't target Darnell Mooney. Go look at the stats. They throw it to everybody
It doesn't matter
but
if they
him.
target him or not.
They
He's
throw
always
it to
an
everybody
option.
You got to
but him.
cover someone. Who else are you going to cover on that?
He's
Bears
always
defense?
an option.
No,
He's
but like
always an option out there.
it's like bad play calling. They don't target him at all.
You don't think if Tom Brady was getting the worst play calls in the league, he'll do an audible and find his receiver?
If you're a second-year quarterback, you can't audible out of every call your head coach is putting in.
No, definitely not every call, but you could do it here and there, and you can figure things out. The only thing he knows how to do is scramble more with
We're
the ball.
picking apples. I'm not saying Justin Fields is good. I'm saying his potential is still there, and he's on one of the worst teams.
And I'm just disagreeing with you. But regardless of all of this of all of these statements, I still think the Bears win this game this week, just because Giants suck too, and they're a little high on
Mackie,
their 2-1
you
record
and
right now.
Jerry Jones would cream your pants if you got Justin Fields down there. You got Cooper Rush, and you got Dak Prescott sitting on the bag for $40 million
Cooper Rush-
every week.
Cooper Rush is 2-0. We're looking at a 2-1 record.
All right.
Looking at a good spot for the rest of the season with Dak coming back in 2 weeks. I don't know what shit you have to talk about Dak. I don't know how that makes any sense.
Because
But,
he's always on the sideline.
we'll talk to me at the end of the season when the Patriots have 4 wins. But
How many rings have
yeah, I
how many
think,
rings do the
this
Cowboys
game-
have? When's the last time you won one?
we have 5. You guys have 6. Congratulations.
You guys are in the worst division in the league, and you can barely win
Tom Brady is Tom Brady's the only reason the Patriots have ever been relevant.
it. So Why?
What?
Why are the Cowboys
What'd
relevant?
you say? You say
why are the
no?
Cowboys?
Did you say no?
I said so. I said, what's the reason the Cowboys are relevant? Because Tony Romo fumbled a snap where they could have won a big game?
No, it's
Or
also
is it because
their
they feed
5
Zeke
Super
and
Bowls,
he
they
hasn't
were the
been good
best
in
team
5
for 10
years?
in the 90s.
Yeah, in the
I didn't
90s.
hear
So
that. You're breaking up.
before you were born. Before you were born.
It doesn't matter when it happened.
How many did they have though?
It's an
How many?
You're chirping
How
an
many?
organization. We're gonna bring up stats from the past. When you chirp the Yankees, they're gonna bring up their reign in the 90s.
As
and not
they
gonna talk
should.
about their... Exactly.
Yeah, no, but even if you talk about your reign, it's not as long as ours was. And I've seen it with my own eyes.
Your reign was one player.
I think there's a lot of people on there. That,
You guys got blessed.
how many
you
Hall
guys-
of Famers?
you guys got
How
blessed
many
with the
Hall of
best quarterback
Famers
all
came out
time.
of there? There's so many Hall of Famers that came out of there. You mean the best tight end of all time?
Because-
the best wide receiver of all
Because
time?
of
The
Tom
best
Brady.
quarterback
Because
of
of
all time?
Tom Brady.
The
Because
Hall of
of Tom
Fame
Brady.
defense? Hall of Fame defense? We've had
That's-
like 4 guys go to the Hall of Fame off that defense.
All right, yeah, you had a nice defense, but
And we had Gronk and Randy
Everything-
Moss?
everything-
What?
everything revolves around Tom Brady.
Rob Gronkowski's the best tight end in the world. Tom Brady's doing shit without him
Listen,
right now.
the only reason you're making me chirp the Patriots right now is because you chirped the Cowboys.
We're chirping each other because of Justin Fields. That's crazy.
Justin Fields has zero potential.
Yeah, but all right, that's such a bad game. Though.
Let's hear what you have to say about this game.
I don't know. Bad game. I'm not gonna watch it. That's what I have to say. But I don't know. Not taking a spread on this one. The Bears is plus money looks nice, but I'm not throwing on either team. I think my projection coming into the year that these two would be fighting for the top draft pick. Huff, do you have anything on that game?
It's yeah, that's just such a whack spread. The Giants aren't a 3.5 point favorite, and I don't really like the Bears coming in this game on the road. I mean, if you're making me pick a spread, like, give me the Bears plus 3.5, like maybe 4. But I also like the under 39. I just think both offenses will struggle, but Daniel Jones has been able, like Mac, he was running all over the fucking place Monday night, and I got pretty close on my passing prop. Like, the Giants' offense has shown potential. Like, it's just his decision-making where, like, he put one right in Trayvon Diggs' chest in the beginning of the first quarter on Monday night. And it's like, he drops that ball. Obviously, if he catches at it, it could be a different game. Cowboys could have went right down and scored there, and we would have had a different game even at halftime, let alone then the final score. But, I mean, I think people are really underestimating this Giants team. It's just Daniel Jones' decision-making. I don't think the team itself is that bad. I think they're like maybe 2 years away from being a legit contender. I know we're talking about this Sunday against the Bears, but, I mean, we're talking about how bad this Bears team is. It's just so hard to take a spread on these tough games that are just, like, brutal that I don't even want to watch. But
hey, one quote, one thing I want to bring up about that game. Sterling Shepard out for the year, too, so I'll plug it just like Odell did on Twitter. Get new turf at MetLife. That's terrible. Like all those ACLs taken there.
They just want to play on grass. They're sick of playing on turf.
Yeah, they have so like Odell said. They have so much money. Why not do that? They do all of these other precautions to protect players. They soften the league up. Why not fix the field they're playing on?
Because it looks better on turf. That's why.
Stupid.
But yeah, I think that Giants team is actually pretty decent. Like, not pretty decent, like they're going to make some noise, but like...
They have potential.
I don't... Yeah.
I agree.
I actually don't disagree with you. I think the Giants... I think Daniel Jones is who Ace thinks Justin Fields is. I think
Daniel Jones
has that
sucks.
potential. He makes those throws. That... I don't think Daniel Jones is good at all, don't get me wrong. But he makes those throws that you're like, wow, that was an elite throw.
You think he still has potential?
That's kind of what... That's kind of how you were explaining Justin Fields, and I'm like, no, Justin Fields.
I just think Justin Fields is young. Still, Daniel Jones is too old now for his potential. Really, I think he's. I mean, maybe if he gets a change of scenery, who knows? But I think we've seen enough. He's had the weapons.
See, I think the Giants are actually going to try to stick with him. They're just building that defense and team
They
around
are.
him.
I mean, at this point, you got to stick with him. You've stuck with him for this long.
They're just
this year. But you're saying in the future?
He is just so average. That team around him will win games.
You're saying you stick with him after this year?
Yeah.
I think the Giants are going to after this year.
Really?
They just need
Barring
to
he
build
doesn't
that line,
blow the
dude.
rest
They
of the
need a
season.
line. They need a line.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I mean.
I agree with
They've just
Mackey.
been drafting O-line, D-line. They got Thibodeau and that Neal dude in the first round this year.
Evan
That was
Neal.
a huge first round for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
All they've been doing is drafting O-line and defense. And look at their receivers too. They have Kadarius.
They've been
Toney.
doing exactly what I want the Steelers to do. And we fucking go pick a flashy quarterback that we're not even playing. Like, pick O-line. We have a terrible
Yeah.
fucking O-line.
Huff,
These
what do
bad
we say?
teams need to just draft O-line.
Where do you win the game? In the trenches. Look at the
Yeah,
the
we don't
Niners. The Niners do it with Jimmy G. You know?
Literally, bad quarterbacks make it far all the time. Like,
They couldn't do it on Sunday night.
No, 1 point. They lost the baseball game. 11-10. Barely a
Kinda
baseball
grew.
game, but still, that's not a football game.
Yeah, not a great game to bet on there.
you know what? Fuck
what's
it. I'll
the
take
play
the
on
Giants
that?
minus 3.5.
What's the play?
All right, late call by Huff, taking Giants minus 3.5 there.
I'm gonna go
I'll take minus
under
3.
39.5.
Giants minus 3, under 39.5.
I'm not putting this anywhere on anything, but I'll say Bears money line.
Wow, all right.
You better have that on your card.
No way.
Bears money line plus
I'm not
150.
touching that
Great
game.
value there, Ace.
But if Hoff's yelling,
Justin Fields 3+ touchdowns.
Justin Fields touchdown's always a good bet though. If someone's gonna score, it could be him. You know.
Dude, I wanted to do it the first
Yeah, he's gonna
touchdown
run the
against
ball
the
in.
Packers, and it hit. I was fucking pissed.
Didn't he have 2
And what
that
he
game?
did-
Didn't he have 2 that game?
Did he run that ball?
Shoulda had
Huff, did
to.
Yeah.
Huff, did he run that ball in?
Yeah, he should
Wow,
have.
you might as well just fucking put him behind the quarterback instead of fucking at
he
quarterback.
He's like
should have
a ba-
had
he's
2.
like
He
the-
ran another one in,
He's
and
like
they called him
cheap
down.
Lamar.
He is who everyone thought Lamar was.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Idiots. People. I
Except
can't believe
worse.
they passed. Everybody passed on Lamar Jackson.
Lamar is so much more athletic than Justin Fields.
No, yeah, I know, but when he
Coming
first
out of
came into the league,
college,
everyone was
yeah.
like, "Oh, running back can't be a quarterback. He can only run the ball. He can't throw it." That's
Justin
literally-
Fields-
That's
Justin
just an
Fields
old
played
school
better,
racist
bigger.
mantra, honestly. Like that's the only reason I feel like some old heads say that. Like a lot of people our age would never say like we're high on the running quarterback. Maybe it's just the new NFL.
It's also the old era versus new era.
Yeah.
Same thing with the NBA. You're jacking threes from fucking 5 feet behind the 3-point line. Everyone's like, "Oh, I don't play the game that way."
And they say it's just to
They're
inflate
old
stats, but they don't care. They just want to win games. Like literally, Lamar does what he's been doing his whole life. That's why he's so good. He just wins games, right?
We need to keep.
Finding a different way to win, an unguardable way to win.
Yeah, not a great game to put the money on this week, I don't think. But everybody said their pick, so let's see what they end up putting on their card for this game. Mackie, I think you might. That's my prediction.
I might have to prove a point.
Exactly, right? Alrighty, let's move forward. The Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Great game here. The Bills coming in as the favorite at -3. Their money line sitting at -162. Ravens money line at +136. The over-under sitting at an even 51. I got a couple trends here. Starting off with the Ravens. The Ravens are 7-1 against the spread since 2015 as a home dog. The Ravens are 15-3 against the spread in their last 18 games as the underdog. The under is 8-2 in the past 10 meetings between these clubs. And the Bills have lost 5 straight at Baltimore. Pretty interesting there. That last trend really gets me. Bills losing 5 straight in Baltimore. So that +3 just looks all the more appetizing to me. What do you think, Huff? You want to start us off here?
This is a really tough game. Obviously, this is going to be one of the ones that a lot of people are going to be watching on Sunday at 1 o'clock. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. It's tough. Like you said, Ravens very good at home here. I'm going to just come right out. The Bills, they shouldn't have lost that game last week, but they did. But tough spot for them coming off or on another road game off a loss. I hate to say the Bills could lose 2 in a row here, but I'm not betting against Lamar Jackson at home and getting points. I'll buy a half point. I'll take the Ravens +3.5 to come out on top here at home, but I'll take the points. I mean, Bills got to lose games sooner or later. Like, they got to lose games. It doesn't matter if it's 2 weeks in a row. They got to lose games.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can we deem this game of the week?
Yeah,
Hit the
this
books
is.
game of
I
the
mean,
week?
yeah, this is definitely like not the number one game I'm rooting to bet on, but this is going to be the number one game I'm going to be watching wire to wire.
Definitely. I think this is this is a weird matchup because we're looking at two teams that are both 2-1, and I could see both these teams winning 13, 14 games. So it's tough because you start season 2-2, and it's hard to bounce back from winning 13 games. But I don't know. I mean, you see a home dog in Lamar Jackson, and what tempts you not to take that? I mean, I guess you're going against the Bills. You're going against Josh Allen. They're coming off a loss. You're not expecting either of these teams to really lose back-to-back games at all this year. I'm going to go with the over. I like over 51. I think it's a shootout. I think it's relatively like I think the Bills have a pretty heavy lead going into half, and I think Lamar Jackson just comes out and puts up a few touchdowns. I think it's going to be like a 60. The over-under will end up being at like 60, 61. Yeah, I like the Ravens at home here. I think they're giving them 3 points as at home is definitely a play here.
Yeah, this is, like you guys said, definitely game of the week. 2-2-1 teams coming in. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, one of the matchups everybody's dying to see. I'm definitely going to keep this on my TV instead of that Fields-Jones matchup. But interesting to look at when it comes down to it. You have Lamar Jackson, the most mobile quarterback in the league, going against a very versatile defense. I know they lost their two safeties, which is going to be crucial. They lost, I believe, was it Micah Hyde for the year? And Jordan Poyer was out last week. That definitely contributed to their loss. I don't know if Poyer's back this week or vice versa. But those two safeties being down are crucial in stopping Lamar Jackson. But Tremaine Edmonds, Tre'Davious White, Kaiir Elam, a lot of edge rushers. You got Von Miller. That's a tough group to go against. Matt Milano, too. We've seen that highlight of Lamar shaking him out of his shoes. So I think Lamar actually keeps the momentum going. I know he looked good last week, obviously. He had a great game against Patriots. But, that was a close game down the wire, and the Patriots aren't a good team. So against the Bills, they're going to have to step their game up a lot more, lock down on that defense. I like the over, like Mackie said here, 51 points. Not a lot for either of these quarterbacks to get. I think this could be 30-plus from each side and come down to that foot of Justin Tucker. So while I think the Ravens do win the game, I might be like Huff on my card and buy that 3.5 point spread so I can still win when Justin knocks that one through. Best kicker in the league. This is one of the games you could see going to overtime. So if anybody ever sprinkles, I know there's those crazy bets we see all the time, like hammering game to go to overtime or something like that. That might be something fun to look at. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning Ravens here, thinking Lamar Jackson has another big day.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to decide up till Sunday because I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like Lamar Jackson loses big games like this all the time. The fact that it's 1:00 is the only thing that's like going against me from taking the Bills, and they're on the road coming off a loss. I don't know. I'll probably have a pick on this game, maybe on my card, but I just don't know which way I'm leaning yet.
Josh Allen still has
right now I like the Ravens with the points. What'd you say?
Plus 3.5, sick, Huff. I like that play a lot. Also,
can I give a quick stat real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So over the 3 weeks, the spread has come into play only 6 times. The record's 41-6, where the spread has not even come into play. Meaning, the favorite has either covered the spread or the dog won outright.
Wow.
So basically, just saying, if you're gonna take a dog, you might as well take the money line because there's a lot more value in it.
I do like that, but the one time
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird to think about. One of those.
I think that's a weird stat because I feel like it does land in that. You
want to know something though? I feel like those spreads though, like they're good in the big primetime-esque games. Like it would have bailed you kind of in like that Chargers Chiefs game, the Bucks Packers game. Maybe you tease the Ravens here too, right? That would be a good one to tease down, get 2 scores for them. Yeah, a lot of plays you can do with the Ravens, so definitely check out our card. I still think Josh Allen has a big day in the loss, though.
What do you think a 2-2 start does for Josh Allen's MVP odds?
Oh, bumps him down, so that'd be the time to buy, right? Whoever wins this game is the MVP favorite, right?
Probably.
But then what happens when Josh Allen throws 5 touchdowns next week at home against the Steelers?
See, that's the thing. That's why you said you buy it after this game if he goes 2-2.
Yeah. Josh Allen
He's at plus 300
He's
right
still
now,
going
which
to
is
eat,
crazy.
though. I feel like this might be one of those games that's an instant classic. I like taking the Ravens, maybe with points. I like the 3.5, like Huff said. That's going to be a good card play. But even those teasers, you see Huff rocking those two teamers where you get a lot of points. 2 scores with Lamar Jackson at home might be something to look at.
Good stuff there coming out of Baltimore. Let's move over to the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. We got the Chargers favorited this week at 5.5 points. Their money line at minus 235 and the over-under at 44.5. No trends from me this week, but we got the Texans really looking for a win here as they are winless. What do we think? Mac, you want to start us off with this one?
Yeah, weird game, weird spread. You got the home team plus 5.5. The Texans haven't looked bad. I think Davis Mills has looked better than people have thought he would. Chargers coming off a pretty tough loss to the Jaguars. What was it, 38-10 in a game that they were favored by 6 points, 7 points. So you never like to see that. I actually think the Chargers bounce back heavy here. I think Justin Herbert has one of the best games of the season he'll have, and I think the over. I think they'll hit the over. What's that, 44? But I think the Chargers have a big bounce back game. I still think they're one of the best teams in the league. I think they're gonna still be fighting for that AFC West division looks like it's probably just gonna be them and the Chiefs. But I like the Chargers here. I like them with the points. They get in blowout fashion, and I think they get back on track here. I think Austin Eckler is also comes out of his coma in this game as well.
Yeah, I like the Chargers in this spot. I like them minus 5.5. Win this game by 6 or more. I think they get back to their, like you said, a bounce back game after a home loss to a Jaguars team that is kind of on the up and coming as well. A lot of people underrating them coming into this year, but I had the Jags in that game with the points. Yeah, but this Chargers team, I think they come into Houston, get the win by 6 or more. I like the Chargers with the points.
Yeah, Huff, of the people that were high on those Texans coming into the year, I actually kind of was, if you remember. The oncoming of Dameon Pierce has been strong the last 2 weeks. I know that their OC and head coach have committed to getting him the ball a lot more, and he's produced when he's gotten it. I think you saw last week. Did he go over 100 last week? I know he got in the end zone.
I know he had a good game, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know his exact stat line.
And another thing to look at is their matchups. They've played good teams so far. They played the Colts. They played the Broncos. And so I know they haven't grabbed one yet, but they're one of those hard-fighting teams. They remind me of last year's Lions, where they're going to win one eventually, but every game they're going to be right in. I'd be hesitant with that Chargers minus 5. I know it's a get-right game. It's also a trap game. Justin Herbert still hindered by that injury. I know those broken ribs, that's not an easy thing to come back from. He had some great plays last week, but also had some tough-looking ones. So if he takes another wrong hit,
he looked hurt.
He could be out of the game. Imagine he takes another hit this week and he gets knocked out in the second quarter, and you're sitting with Chargers minus 5
And Chase Daniel under center
against Davis Mills in Houston with Brandon Cooks, Dameon Pierce. I mean, they're a feisty group. They're looking to grab their first win of the season. You know how hungry some teams can be.
I don't think Houston's that bad this year, to be honest.
No, and
this could be another good one. You tease Houston up, get Houston at like 13.5.
I don't know, because I feel like if Justin Herbert has his game and if he's healthy, they can win this game by 20 plus points. It's a bounce back situation.
Is he healthy though? How long is rib injury to come back from?
Did he have to get that shot last week that everyone was talking about?
No. I don't think so. The cortisone shot then?
Yeah, whatever that painkiller shot that they punctured
Tyrod Taylor killing shot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jesse looked like he just ripped a line.
That's a scary game though. Stay away.
If
you can hear me, stay away from that game. I do think Eckler gets out of his funk, but it's just like such a high-powered team. Did you guys see Joey Bosa on IR too?
Yeah. That team's banged up.
J.C. Jackson's been hurt.
Yeah, and Slater's out for the year.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is a tough spot for the Chargers.
This is a stay away game. I know that the Chargers, they look at it as a get right game, but they're probably worried internally about how to fill the holes rather than what's on the horizon. They might take them lightly. This Texans team, they've been playing so well. I mean, that money line's sitting fat. Maybe I throw on it. I don't know if I'll throw it on my card, but that's the only play I'd be looking at if I'm picking a side here.
Chargers start 1-3.
If you said at the beginning of the season, I would have called you crazy. But when your quarterback breaks his ribs,
no, I know what you're saying.
Their whole team is so banged up. We were so high on this defense. J.C. Jackson, Bosa, the two cornerstones of that defense are out.
I know they still have Khalil Mack and Derwin James, but
I mean, yeah,
Rashawn Slater out.
All the guys, Mack.
Rashawn Slater out for the year, Mackie. That's big, I think.
Yeah, it's actually huge. This team. I mean, even like when you say like they still have like Khalil Mack and just like the defensive names they have, but you're still trying to your game planning or your game plan before those guys being injured like J.C. Jackson, Joey Bosa. Like you have to change your entire game plan because you have backups in now, especially on that line. Like you gotta definitely favor that. Whatever side he's not on.
Maybe we're wrong, and this is the get-right game. But this is a stay-away game for me.
I think it's a get-right game. I think the Chargers still win this game by 10+. I think they cover the game. But, I mean, like you said, if Justin Herbert takes one bad hit, he could be out for the game, and it's a completely different ballgame we're talking about.
Yeah, I see it as a trap game for them. Texans are a tough fighting team. They're not gonna go winless this year. I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not. I don't think any team really will this year. I don't think any team's really that bad.
What about what was I gonna say? Yeah, they remind me
Who
of
else
those
is even
Lions.
winless?
They remind me of those Lions. Oh, the Raiders are winless. They're the only winless team in the league.
Oh, they're not gonna. No team's gonna go winless this year. I think every team gets at least like 4 wins this year, 5 wins maybe.
Agreed. This will be an exciting game to watch, honestly. Well, might not be the highest scoring one like that Bills-Ravens game, but you could see like a 2017 game. Maybe similar to that Broncos-Texans game.
So do you like the under?
Yeah, it's so unpredictable with Herbert's injury.
Alrighty. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are the favorite this week at 4.5 points. Their money line sitting at -215, and the over/under sitting at 48.5. No trends from me on this one. Ace, start us off. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've been high on those underdogs last 2 games, but here I'm going to hammer the favorite. I love Detroit. You said they were at home this week?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that at home. Give me that 0.5 point. I'll take them by 4, but I don't see anything in the Seattle team. I don't understand how they've been hanging around. I know I'm a WVU guy, but Geno Smith is washed. I saw him playing for the New York Jets. Like, they're not going to keep this up. I love the Lions. They've been pounding the rock all year. Jared Goff, Mackie alluded to it earlier, Super Bowl contender previously in his career. He's got stuff in the tank. They'll have no answer for Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been electric. I don't know how you guys feel about him, but I look at the team to put up a lot of points. They're going to get in the end zone a lot, and I don't think the Seattle Seahawks can do the same. Give me 4.
I'm right there with you. I like the Lions -4.5 at home against a weak Seahawks team. Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. They've shown a lot of good things throughout the first couple weeks of the season. I think there's a good spot for them at home to win this game by 5 or more.
Mackie, real quick before you jump in, you know what's going to be dynamite is when Jameson Williams, if he comes back this season, that'll be a nice addition to this team and spur them to go into the playoffs. Remember when you guys called me crazy at the beginning of the year and I said the Lions might make the playoffs?
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
We'll see.
I think when it comes down to it, like, they're going to be sitting right outside. But I do really love this Lions team. I think, like Ace said, the Seahawks really have nothing to offer this year. They have a, what do you guys call it, a Mickey Mouse win on week 1 against the Broncos. Everyone was against the Seahawks that week at home. You should have seen it coming. But other than that, this team really doesn't have much to offer. I think the Lions, Dan Campbell has the Lions moving, and that heart in that locker room is unmatched with any other team in the NFL, I think. So Jared Goff looks good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, couldn't ask for more out of that guy. I think they've been putting up touchdowns, so I think that keeps going this week, and I think they cover 4.5 points.
Yeah, I also think that they have one of the best running back duos in the league, honestly. If you talk about a two-headed snake in that backfield, what teams come to mind? Obviously the Cleveland Browns, but I think the Lions are right up there in one of the top 5-10 duos in the league. Swift and Williams.
It's definitely severely underrated.
Yeah.
It's definitely an underrated backfield.
Big fan. Okuda is the real deal, too.
out of Ohio State.
Yeah, he clamped Jay Jettis last week.
Yeah, those Ohio State boys. You got Olave, Garrett Wilson. Yeah, gonna be fun to watch the next few years.
All right, let's move forward. Jumping down to Pittsburgh, the New York Jets, Mackey's New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers coming in as the favorite at home this week at -3. The money line at -168 and the over-under at 41.5. No real trends for me this week, but hopefully the Steelers can cover the spread. What do we think? Huff, start us off.
I really don't think the Steelers are deserving of a 3-point spread here. I think it should be more of a pick'em game. I'm not really saying too much about this Jets team, but they've shown they have some fight in them and some good things to their offense. I really like what Garrett Wilson's doing, how they're utilizing him. They have a good run game with Breece Hall. I think this Jets team has a potential to come here and win this game on Sunday. It's going to be, contingent on Zach Wilson is starting this game, correct?
I don't know. Is he? Is he
Yeah,
back?
I saw that too. Is it confirmed though?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but if Zach Wilson's playing this game, I do like the Jets +3. I'd take the half point and take the Jets +3.5. I'm not obviously going to take that as a pick on my card and go against my Steelers, but I do like the Jets in this spot. I think they win this game.
Yeah, Huff. It's crazy though. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers come in and win this game. You want to know something? It seems like every single year the Steelers get to play the Jets just so they don't go winless. They get those free matchups every year. It's like, oh, good. Who are the Steelers?
Well, we
playing?
don't do good against
The
teams
Jets.
like this.
Yeah, but I like them this week. I actually think it's a downgrade starting Zach Wilson. Joe Flacco is the second leading passer in the league, and you're going to sit him on the bench. I mean, they beat the Cleveland Browns. That's something they didn't think was possible, I don't think. I mean, Joe Flacco's been playing well, and Zach Wilson...
The Steelers team beat the Bengals, though.
Yeah, Zach Wilson coming off of an injury in his first game back in Heinz Field. I know it's not called that anywhere, but I'm still referring to it as Heinz Field. Coming into Heinz Field, I know there's no TJ Watt, but that defense is menacing. You think that Zach Wilson's going to be able to do anything? He's going to be seeing ghosts on the sidelines in Pittsburgh, and he's going to be throwing a few picks this week. I like that Steelers defense. Maybe they even get in the end zone. Look for Minka to definitely snag one. But, Najee Harris is going to eat this week. About time, right? I'm going with the Steelers -3 here.
I didn't add the other one that I liked. I do like the under 41.5 in this game. I like that more than a spread. I'll probably end up taking that, obviously, because that's not really going against my Steelers.
What about Najee to get in?
I do like the under. I'll obviously look at all the props. Some of the Sunday props aren't out. Like, I don't have any touchdown props for this game, but Najee has he's been questionable. Some of the running routes or the rushing attempts that I've seen so far, people are kind of questioning his vision throughout the first couple weeks of the season. I do think he gets in on Sunday, but yeah, Steelers coming home. Like you said, now I'm starting to kind of overthink it, but Steelers, it's going to be tough for them to start the season 0-2 at home, but I don't know.
This is the game where they say Joe Flacco should be the starting quarterback. Zach Wilson's going to have to sit the bench after he loses a few games, I think. Joe Flacco is doing so well. I know we kind of shit on him earlier, but he's playing well. Why are you changing that?
I also agree. I don't really see much of an upgrade with Zach Wilson. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a downgrade, but Joe Flacco's really been doing his thing. He's been doing all right. So, I don't know. You have a Jets team that's 1-2. You probably don't see that very often. It should be 0-3, but...
But it isn't confirmed. You could see Joe Flacco here.
Oh, no, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Yep. Zach Wilson. Sadly. I mean, the Steelers are going to... I think we were talking about get-right games earlier. This is a get-right game for Najee Harris, right? That's what I see it as. I like that backup running back that you guys have in Pittsburgh, too. The rookie. Who is that? Yeah, he's actually dynamite off the bench. He kind of gives you guys that change of pace you need. Nice little receiving back to help out a stagnant offense. You got to think, the matchups on the outside, you think Sauce Gardner, who's he going to cover all three of them? You got that three-headed snake with all those wide receivers, and they have nobody over the middle to cover Freiermuth. You're going to be hearing Muth in the end zone at Heinz if you go to the game this week, Huff.
It's going to come down. I always say it with the Steelers these past couple of years. It comes down to the offensive line for Najee. It's like, I know he's a beast, but
that's what I'm saying.
I mean? The
this
offensive
is a
line makes
game
the running back
for him in the line. Just with a weak Jets defense, I'd say.
Yeah.
Steelers -3.
I like the under. I like the under. I'll fuck it. I'm not going against. I'm a definitely lean. I like Steelers money line. It's just so steep.
So steep. -168. Not much value.
I like Chris Boswell too. He's on that fat deal. He'll be pinning some through for you.
This kind of final score that'll be like 16-12.
I was gonna say 19-13 Steelers.
Yeah, like something just field goals.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee Harris touchdown in the second quarter is the only touchdown of the game.
You don't think Freiermuth gets into? Mitch Trubisky, it's like he's not good, but like I don't know. I just feel like the Jets are.
You go to your tight end. I mean,
yeah. They have Pickens is. He's been complaining about the ball. They got to feed him. There's too many receivers. There's too many weapons for that weak Jets team, and they're changing the guard at quarterback. I don't know. Seems too much. I love the Steelers at home. Mike Tomlin's got the boys going. Black Air Force One energy.
All right, good stuff. Let's move forward to our next game. I think Ace is excited about this one. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles coming in as the favorite at -6.5. But their money line at -290 and the over-under at 46.5. I got a couple trends here. The Eagles are 10-2 straight up in their last 12 versus AFC South opponents. The over is 9-2 in Philadelphia's last 11 versus AFC South opponents. Jaguars are 0-17 straight up in their last 17 non-conference games, as well as 1-18 straight up in their last 19 road games. What do we think here? Ace, you want to start us off?
Yeah, this is a great matchup, honestly. We have the Jaguars who have been exceeding expectations. We have the Philadelphia Eagles, one of two remaining undefeated teams. They added so much in that offseason and it's showing prevalent on that defense. Darius Slay holding it down, the rest of the gang, and Jalen Hurts doing what he does. Getting in the end zone and finding A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They have weapons everywhere. And then on the other side, you have Trevor Lawrence. But who's he led by now? Doug Peterson, right? Doug Peterson. Playing against his former team, one of those like old school matchups. I don't think he's faced the Eagles yet. Definitely hasn't faced them as a Jaguar. But I'd like to. I don't know. I like the under in this game. Honestly, I think they're two really good defenses. 6.5 is a lot for the Eagles to cover, but I don't know. It's tough. I might be looking at tees here. I don't know. They're such a good team, though. They look like the best team in football right now, in the NFC at least. On both sides of the ball, they're getting things done. You got to stop them on the ground and through the air. Jalen Hurts, it is what it is. But that defense. It's good, too. I don't know. I like maybe teasing one of the teams here. I do think the Eagles definitely win. It's going to be a low-scoring game. But Doug Peterson facing his former team kind of scares me a bit here for the Eagles. Give me the under, though. Look at those defense to eat.
I do like that under 46.5. Obviously, a lot of people high on the Eagles, and like you said, for good reason. They do look like the best team in the NFC, coming in at 3-0, one of the only undefeated teams left. But this Jaguars team has been sneaky throughout the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm not saying they, like you said, I do like the Eagles come out on top here. I just think 6.5 is a lot. Same thing I said last week going to the Chargers. Obviously, time change, a lot more, travel involved going to that game. But it's going to be tough for them to win two tough road games in a row. I know the Chargers were a pretty banged-up team. I think kind of like the stat that Mackey pulled a little earlier, though, I think somehow, if the spread doesn't come into play, I think if the Jaguars are going to cover this spread, I think we somehow see them win this game. We maybe see a Jalen Hurts' true colors of last season come through. Maybe like 2 interception game. That's not necessarily what I'm predicting, but I'm leaning. I think I like Jacksonville +7. I've just kind of been riding them, and they haven't really given me a reason to go away. They've won most of the games that I've taken them with the points. So I'm going to take Jacksonville +7 here. I don't love it. I'm probably not going to go on my card. Like you said, Philly just so dominant both sides of the ball so far. But this is prime teaser opportunity. You get Jacksonville at 10.5, 13.5.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was waiting for you to say that. You love the two-teamers. You get 2 touchdowns with that. But like you said, that might not be something I go towards too. Like we've been saying, we've been hitting the nail on the head there. They're dominant on both sides of the ball. We've seen what they can do. I mean, that's a scary team to bet against, that Eagles team. I do like.
That's what I mean.
I
It's
like what
like-
you said with that interception. Jalen Hurts showing his true form against the former Eagles coach Doug Peterson, defensive mastermind. They just got a shutout last week, right? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I like the under.
24-7 game to the Vikings. You might as well call that a shutout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most of the game, but I like the under here with two great defenses, young quarterbacks. But yeah, gonna be a good game to watch. This is gonna be one of the ones we see at the witching hour.
Yeah.
Jalen
yeah,
Hurts touchdown,
might-
something to look at every week too. He gets in the end zone a lot and he takes a lot of carries. Every play he's looking for an RPO, so he always has the option to run.
Yeah.
I like the thoughts, Ace. Let's go forward to the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. The Browns are the favorite against the Falcons at 1.5 points. Their money line at -126. Falcons money line sitting at +108. In the over/under at 48.5. No trends from me, but both these teams just battling for their spots in. Never mind. Disregard that. Ace, what do you think?
They're definitely battling for their spots in the NFL. Yeah, Browns Falcons. I'm high on the Browns. I think they have the best tandem in the backfield. I always say this every week. I feel like I'm.
Is Myles
Broken
Garrett?
record.
Is there any chance Myles Garrett doesn't play in this game?
Let's go look at. I'll go look at his projection here. But like I've been saying all year, you got Chunt. You know, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Chunt. They did it last week. They covered the spread against the Steelers, but you just feed them all game. I've been saying this all year. I love that they don't have a good quarterback right now. Not that Jacoby Brissett is bad. I think he's one of the one of the best backups in the league. He's a competent quarterback. He learned from Tom Brady, so makes sense. But with a quarterback like that, what do you have to do? Pound the rock? And those are their two best players on their team. I've been waiting all year. Baker Mayfield threw the ball way too much on that offense. Like, put the ball in Chubb's hand, put the ball in Hunt's hand, and when you do throw it to your best receiver, right? He's been targeting Amari Cooper is having a resurgence out in Cleveland. I don't even know if it's a resurgence. He's been eating the last few years, but for some reason he was slept on moving from Dallas to Cleveland. Once one of the best receivers in the league, he's going to continue to eat. And David Njoku had a big resurgence game. I know Stefanski said that's going to be game script depending on how they want to use them and how the other team matches up. But yeah, the Falcons hard fighting team too. But I'd look to see a lot of points from the Browns this week. I might take the over on this game. The Falcons are sticking and hanging around with people. What do you got for the exact spread on this game with the Browns?
-1.5.
Oh yeah, give me the Browns. Give me the Browns for sure. I think they win this team. They're an underrated team. I think everybody was so high on them last year. Remember, they were like, "This is the Browns' year." I think they're actually they had a disappointing year because of that, and now they get to come in with lowered expectations. Their coach under a second year. I know they have Watson and all that craziness, but Jacoby Brissett does a good job of quieting things down and just playing football. He's looked pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys. They've beaten a lot better teams than the Falcons, so I think they get it done again this week. But look for the over here. The Falcons have been known to stick around all year, and they can get in the end zone a little bit. But that Browns defense, we saw it last week against the Steelers. It's suffocating. Give me Browns -1.5. Chunt.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was asking about the Myles Garrett thing, not necessarily leaning away if he's not playing. I do like the Browns in this game. This will be a game that I'm for sure watching, as you were leaning against you're very big on the running backs. I was very questionable in my one fantasy team. I had a bunch of the great receivers falling to me the way I was drafting. I got like Kupp and then Devontae and then A.J. Brown, and I was just stacking my receivers in flex, and then I'm like, damn, I have no running back. Then I went Mahomes, and I was just like, dude, I need a running back. And then I ended up with Chubb and then Cordell Patterson in back-to-back rounds, and I was like, if these running backs work out for me, I have a fucking loaded team. And obviously Cordell Patterson's been the leading rusher throughout the first couple weeks of the season. Nick Chubb's been Nick Chubb, the 3-touchdown game. So this is definitely going to be a game that I'm going to be watching. I love the Browns in this spot to go down to Atlanta and get the win here. Just take them -1.5 because, I mean, I don't really, you know what I mean? It's tough. This is another really good one. I'd like to get the Browns in a teaser and get them at +3.5 and some fluke shit. They lose this, but I think the Browns come out on top here. Like you said, Jacoby Brissett, just hand the ball off to Nick Chubb. Give it to Kareem Hunt out of the backfield as well. Amari Cooper, another player I have on one of my fantasy teams. So this is going to definitely be a game that I have my eyes on. I like the Browns here. I do like the over, like you said. Atlanta's been sticking around in games. They've shown their ability to. They don't necessarily want to get the ball to Kyle Pitts, but they're going to get the ball to the rookie Drake London, who's been electric for the first 3 weeks of the season for Atlanta. And like I said, Cordero Patterson's been Cordero Patterson, that he's been just a consistent, underrated running back over the past 3 years. But I do like the Browns here. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, I've been coming to appreciate Cordell Patterson, as you guys say it more and more. But Drake London, my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year before the season started, if you recall.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, the Browns defense, Myles Garrett, I'm seeing here that he wasn't at the facility today, so that doesn't bode well for his availability. His status is up in the air. Nobody really
want him chasing Mariota all over the place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need him on the field, but even without him, there's so much firepower on that defense. Let me see if Clowney's playing real quick. I know he was out last week, but they look so good against your team. You guys saw it. Clowney also questionable, didn't practice. So
that's two big question marks.
Yeah, those are two big question marks. Your best edge rushers, but I still think they have enough on the other side to get it done. I think that offense is just really good. Just Kevin Stefanski, good coach. Give me the Browns -1.5 against a weak Falcons team that's going to stick around. Browns -1.5 over. Those are my plays. Watch Chunt get in the end zone. Either one. Pick them both if you want.
High on the Chunt.
Always high on the Chunt.
Alrighty. Next up, the Washington Commanders at Mackey's Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are the favorite in this matchup at -3. Their money line at -164, and the over/under sitting at 41.5. I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. I like the -3 spread. I think it fits the game, even though 72% of the money is on Dallas. What do we think here? Ace, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I do. You know what's crazy is coming into last week, everybody was very high on the Commanders after they had what did they start off 2-0?
No. They lost to They beat the Jaguars week 1, then they lost to the Lions.
All right, but it was a tough game against the Lions where it came down to the wire, right?
Yeah, they went down big at half, and then they came back in the second half.
Made a comeback. They can. You know what that tells me? In both games, they had a shootout. They can put up points, and Carson Wentz can do it when it matters. I mean, they ran into the buzzsaw that is the Philadelphia Eagles last week, so disregard that game. I think they put up too many points for Cooper Rush to score. I don't think he goes 4-0 as a starter. I think he comes back down to earth a bit. That Cowboys offense is so slow. So slow. I think Carson Wentz has so many weapons on the other side of the ball. Give me the Commanders' money line here.
And I was kind of thinking the same thing. Does Cooper Rush come back to earth here? Do we think he can kind of start this hot? But Cowboys at home is a tough spot. I hate Carson Wentz. I hate betting on Carson Wentz. He burnt me on that Commanders' money line against Detroit week 2. I'll just take Dallas. I'll just take Dallas in this spot. Give me the money line at home. I don't like Cooper Rush. I don't like keep riding Dallas, but I don't like Carson Wentz even more. So I will not be betting on this game.
That's crazy. I might be looking at the Commanders' money line here. But yeah, good pick. I understand. It's good. It's good to have controversy on the card. I like that. Bet with the trend. I like saying that too. But like I said,
that's what I mean. It's like he just keeps finding ways to win these games, and it's like another average to bad team.
Being at home helps too. It's a divisional game, 3-point spread. I mean, Carson Wentz isn't him. We see that, but I think the weapons he has around him are great. I think that defense is pretty stellar. I like the Commanders here.
Yeah.
I agree. This is a pretty scary game, like you said, Huff.
When the good games are off, I'm 1:00 at the end of the 1:00 slate, we'll all be watching this game, 1-score game.
You're not wrong. Alrighty, let's jump into the 4:00. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are our favorite here at -1.5 points. The money line sitting at -118, and the over/under sitting at 42.5. No trends from me here, but 75% of the money is on Arizona, and 80% of the bets are also on Arizona. Both teams 1-2 this year. What do we think is going to happen? Huff, start us off.
I do like the Cardinals in this spot to come into Carolina. Carolina hasn't shown me too much of anything too great. Nice bounce back win for them against a divisional opponent in the Saints, but we kind of downplayed the Saints earlier on in the episode, so you know how I feel about them. They're just not really showing me too much to be, you know what I mean, comparing them to too many teams. But I'll take the Cardinals in this spot. Give me the Cardinals money line plus 100.
Oh, my bad, I was on mute. But yeah, Cardinals a team I'm definitely high on. I always am. I'm a big fan of Kyler Murray, and that's a good matchup here against the Carolina Panthers. We've been duped by them too many times this year to ride them again, right? And you're getting Kyler as an underdog here. Give me that Cliff Kingsbury all the time. I'll probably wear my jersey for this game. You know, throw it on. We'll see this one starting with Scott Hansen at the end of those good games we were talking about earlier. But too many weapons, and I think McCaffrey was out of practice today. Baker Mayfield doesn't look that great. That Arizona Cardinals defense, a little underrated. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my boys, the Cardinals. Like the money line here. Panthers, you're frauds. You're not winning. You got your win last week against New Orleans.
Panthers are frauds.
Right? We were all duped.
You could see Cardinals money line plus 100 on my card potentially.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
I like that pick.
Kyler Murray's the man. Maybe that's a team play.
Yeah, we got to get the team card back rolling. Didn't have a team pick last week.
Yeah, we do.
Think about the losses by the Cardinals this year, right? They lost to the Los Angeles Rams. It's one of the best teams in football, and they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Vegas Raiders. Those are three really good rosters. They finally get to ease their breath with a weak offense from Carolina. So I think you start to see that Cardinals defense pick it up a bit and see Kyler grab that money line.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Absolutely. All right, next up, we got Russ and the Denver Broncos heading down to L.A. to visit the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are the favorite in this matchup at -2.5. The money line sitting at -144 and the over-under at 45.5. No trends from me on this one. But yet another game, 74% of the money is on Las Vegas.
This is a definition of a bounce back game. I love the Raiders here, -2.5.
Everybody likes the Raiders here, I think. I think that's the move. Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely. They have to get a win, right? I mean, I was high on them coming into the year.
Yeah, they're not going to start 0-4.
But that's such a tough matchup, right? Like, Russell Wilson's looked terrible through the first few weeks. So just looking at this, Derek Carr has 6 touchdowns to Russell Wilson's 2. I think this is Josh McDaniels had the closed-door meeting, right, with the owner there. I think the Raiders get right here. They get their first win of the season. There will be no more winless teams in the NFL. We're betting against a streak here. My second time doing that on the podcast today. But I like the Raiders. You know, they have all those weapons. Devontae Adams has been eating. Russell Wilson's been squeaking out wins. 11-10 against the 49ers and Jimmy Garoppolo. 17-13 against the Texans. I think
Davis Mills, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Raiders get back on track here. They have to. I mean, they have to. If they don't, I'm not taking them the rest of the year. But give me the Raiders this week. With the points. I might take an alternate spread of them -3, honestly.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Do you put your faith in Russ? I'm not sure. We'll see on Sunday. Another 4:30 game. We got Ace's New England Patriots at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are the favorite in this game at -9.5. I did see it at 10 earlier. The money line is -460 and the over-under at 39.5. Got some trends for this one. The Patriots are 16-2 straight up in their last 18 games versus NFC North opponents, as well as 1-6-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. The Packers are 16-6 against the spread in their last 22 games at home, as well as 11-2 against the spread in their last 13 games played in October. So, some things favoring each team. But let's shoot it over to Ace to get us going. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I mean, let's start off with the obvious here. Mac Jones isn't going to be playing this week. He had that high ankle sprain. So, missing your best component of an already stagnant offense is going to hinder it a lot. Jacoby Myers being out last week was evident as Mac ended up throwing 3 interceptions as well. Don't really know what Brian Hoyer is going to look like. The last time he played, I remember he played Patrick Mahomes and played him tight in Kansas City. Could have walked away with a win there. But he's going to do what he does best and play slow. So I'm taking that under 39.5. Maybe looking to tease the Patriots to plus 17.5. That gives them a 3+ scores, So 17.5, 2 touchdowns, field goal. I think this is going to be too slow to put up those points. That Rodgers offense isn't prolific. We saw them get shut down by the Bucs last week. I think the Patriots' inefficiencies on offense will keep them from winning this game on the road. You said it's on the road, right?
Yeah, it's in Green Bay.
Yeah, tough without your quarterback. So many questions coming into the week. The one thing is that the teams will be playing fired up. Bill Belichick knows how to lock in. We saw the Bucs. Like I said, we saw the Bucs shut him down last week. I'm sure Bill can come up with some way to slow down that game with Hoyer at the helm. So I'm taking maybe Patriots plus spread in a teaser, but I'm definitely taking the under here. Low under, but I like it.
Yeah, I do see what you mean with get the Patriots up in the points. Obviously, it's so hard for any of these teams to win by that many amount of points, but obviously, like you said, with a backup quarterback, this can be a game I'm kind of leaning away from, but I do like the Packers maybe in the first half with like a -6 spread. Get them to be up by a touchdown at halftime. I mean, it's so tough to end up covering 10, so I don't really love it the full game, but I'll definitely be looking at like a first half line for this one to see if Hoyer can come out slow, and the Packers can maybe build a lead throughout the first half at home. That defense is legit as fuck for the Packers, so I definitely don't want to bet against them, especially with the backup quarterback. So, but like you said, given 17 points, it's so hard to win by 18 or more. You know what I mean? Covered basically the full 3 possessions of 21. But so I like what you said, but I'm leaning Packers. Maybe first half, get a quick start at home. But like I said, I mean, same thing with the Bears. They were a 10-point favorite against the Bears, and they covered that game. But I'm leaning Packers first half. I don't have a spread on it yet, but I'll be looking at that one.
Yeah.
Overall, go Ace.
Yeah. So like I was saying though, I just think they play so slow on offense this week. The Patriots, like we've seen them run 3 passes and 39 runs or whatever it was last year and win a game against a really good Bills team. If they play perfect on offense and Bill gets the boys going on defense, who knows? But that's why I like the under. It's going to be so slow. It's going to take time for people to score points. We saw the Bucs. I know they're one of the best defenses in the league. We saw them shut down Rodgers to 14 points. And I think Hoyer could have a better week than Brady did last week. I hope.
If this under doesn't hit, the score will be like 31-10. Packers just somehow all things are going for the Packers.
If the Packers are firing on all cylinders and the Patriots don't show up, they'll get blown out. But if the game goes the way I expect, it's gonna be very slow, and the clock's gonna be one of the first games over of the slate.
I was just gonna say I either like the Patriots with the points with the under, or the Packers with the points with the over. But like I said, my pick is probably going to be the Packers first half. Do you know what I mean by saying that, though? Patriots with the under. If you like the Patriots, you think it's going to be a slow game.
I agree.
A lot of points.
They're not going to win this game.
But if the Packers are going to cover 10, they're probably going to hit 40 points. Do you think the Packers are going to win by 10?
I agree with you completely. We need the perfect storm to win the game, right? But yeah, like I said,
Lambeau's so fucking hard to play in, dude. I've been there. That place, it was Packers Steelers last year, or was it last year? Was that last year?
Yeah, that
was last year. Packers Steelers last year. I was at Lambeau, dude. That place is fucking amazing. That place gets so loud, it is insane. They talk about all these loud stadiums. I'd love to go to Chiefs. You know what I mean? The Chiefs Stadium or Seattle. Obviously, Seattle kind of on a downgrade with the team, but. Some of these loud stadiums, Lambeau has to be right up there, dude. That place is so hard to play in, especially a backup quarterback. This is not a good spot for Hoyer. I mean, I know he's been there, done that. He's been in this spot before. He's probably played a game in Green Bay before. I mean, he's played however many years in the NFL. It's just so hard, you know what I mean? Like Rodgers, and like we said, if the Packers are firing on our cylinders, this game could get out of hand really quick.
Yeah, just one thing I'd like to reference to that first half bet. The only reason I'd be hesitant to take it, like, you would have to think the Packers roll, right? Like Aaron Rodgers. But I saw Brian Hoyer play a few years ago, and I saw how the Patriots played and how the defense stepped up with their guy out. They'll be playing for their boy Mac. The Patriots covered that spread. They might have been even tied at the half against the Chiefs a few years ago with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. So just something to think about.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tough game to bet on there. 9.5 points being so many points. We'll see what happens, though, there on Sunday. Let's move into our Sunday primetime game with the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What everybody believes is going to be a great game. We have the Chiefs favored at -1.5 points, the money line at -124, and the over/under at 45.5. The Bucs money line at +106. We got 76% of the money in favor of Kansas City thus far. It is only Wednesday night here as we record. But what do we think? Ace, you want to start us?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'd like to thank the NFL schedule makers for actually giving us some great primetime games. We were lulled to sleep last week with that Niners-Broncos game and then Giants-Cowboys. And then the first two primetime games we already talked about were the Bengals and Dolphins, and now we have the Chiefs and the Bucs here, two of the more favorite teams. I know Mackie and I were talking about that primetime under, right? It's been hammered all year long. But I do like the over here, 45. I'm going to buy it to 45. I know it's at 45.5. But Brady has been so shut down all year. You'd have to think he gets going. Like, hopefully get some of those receivers back. I don't know the full injury report, but there's no way they're all out again. I think Mike Evans, he only had a 1-game suspension, right? So he'll be back this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with even Mike Evans back, Brady will find the end zone multiple times this week. In the prime time, old against young, changing of the guard potentially. I do like the Chiefs, but that Bucs defense scares me. Give me the over here and look for Brady and Mahomes to be dueling all night in a tightly contested game. Huff, what do you think?
Who would you say you like on the side, my bad?
I kind of like the Chiefs.
Who do you like,
I kinda
Chiefs or
like
Bucs?
the Chiefs, but that Bucs defense is really good, and it's Brady, and he gets some of his boys back in Tampa Bay. Actually, the game's in Minneapolis now. With the hurricane, everybody stay safe out there if you're watching or listening from anywhere in those areas, definitely. But yeah,
The game's at the Vikings Stadium.
is it? Yeah, I saw that the relocation site's Minneapolis.
That's crazy. That changes my opinion on this game a lot, actually.
I did see the Buccaneers went down to Miami's practice facility during the hurricane.
Watch
They were gonna
that,
get hit a lot
obviously,
less
though.
than Tampa.
Watch that, obviously, though. You got to see which one where they do end up playing. But if the projections are right, that storm's gonna be terrible, and yeah, they're gonna be having to play in Minneapolis. My guess, but I'm leaning Chiefs, but I'm taking the over there, especially if they play in Minneapolis. You get Mahomes and Brady in a dome, two valid kickers too. You know.
Good point. If it's in a dome, yeah, I like the over. Dude, I
Yeah.
just don't think Brady's losing 2 in a row. I like Brady on a Sunday night primetime game.
Oh, I'm wearing this Brady shirt right now. I mean, I should be back my boy all the time. I'm not gonna bet on the Chiefs this game. I'm not gonna bet on the Bucs this game. I don't think either. Even though I've been saying all year Brady.
I'd ride that over.
Over.
I'd ride
Yeah.
that over.
Especially if you lock it in.
45.5 is
Lock
not
it
that
in
many
as
for
you
these two
listen to
quarterbacks.
this. Maybe lock it in right now, Huff. If they do switch to Minneapolis, that over is going to change, maybe even skyrocket a bit, eh?
But there's no chance they play this game in Tampa, right?
Let me look at it. Let's look at it.
More
right
than
now.
likely
Let's
not.
Look at it. Yeah, I agree. Right, Jesse. Like, with
Because
all
if
the
they play this game in
projections, no
Tampa,
way.
the over under should be set at 29.5 with how the winds and fucking rain is there.
29. You mean 49.5?
No, it should be set at 29. Do you see the wind in Tampa?
Oh! If they play in Tampa, you're saying.
Yeah, I said if they play in Tampa, this over under should be set at
5
like
hours ago,
27.
it said it's
The
the
game-
contingency site. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I'm rolling with the projections. We're gonna trust the weather team.
And the
I am
NFL
too.
and the NFL will not go to a college stadium. They're going to relocate to another NFL facility.
Yeah, they already.
Right.
It's locked in. It's Minnesota, which is fine by me. I love the points there.
I like the over.
Yeah.
I like the over. I'm with you. I'll buy it to 45 as well.
Two of my
45.
favorite, my
Take
two
it.
favorite quarterbacks in the league going up against each other. Tough game.
The amount of times there's 46 points scored in a game, to like 46 even, 23-20, you know what I mean? Like 26-17. I don't even know if that adds up to that, but like I just feel like the score
is
is
the math
always sitting right
podcast.
around there, and that's yeah, this isn't a math podcast, so don't quote me on that, but 23-20, I could see this game literally being 23-20. 26 maybe? 26-20?
All right. Yeah, that's definitely I love this game. Everybody's gonna thank you, NFL. I'm saying it again. Thank you for this game.
27-23 Bucks win this game.
All right, let's see. This is how I go over scores. Anybody want? I always ask people, what do you got for a score for this game? Let's think about it. All right, who's scoring for the Bucks? Let's see. Playoff line, he's gonna get in once. I think Brady throws 2 with a couple field goals. That equals 27. I think the Chiefs, Kelsey gets in. Mahomes throws another one. I'm gonna say 27. 24. I think, 23. 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns for the Chiefs, maybe. I think maybe 3 touchdowns and a field goal, or something like that. So 27-24. Give me that, Bucks. Oof, but I like the Chiefs too. I don't know, but yeah, I'm something like that. I don't know.
I'm talking you into your boy.
Yeah, it's leaning both ways, but I do like the over there. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over, especially if it's in the dome, like you said.
Very interesting news there, Ace, with the relocation site. Lots of good stuff with the over. I think that might be a team pick for us on Sunday night. Hopefully, we'll see if we can get that going. Going to be a great Sunday primetime game there. Kind of leaning towards the Bucks, but it sounds like we're all leaning towards the over. Alrighty, let's jump into the Monday primetime game. We got the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. Another good primetime game, I'd say. The 49ers coming in as the favorite at -1.5. Their money line at -118. Rams money line at +100. The over-under for this matchup at 42.5. I got some trends for this one after... The 49ers have lost 6 straight Week 4 games. So not very strong in Week 4. They are also 14-4 against the spread in their last 18 games played on a Monday. The Rams are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games played on a Monday. And the over is 16-6 in the Rams' last 22 games as the underdog. Lots of money on the Rams. 82% of the money on the Rams. 83% of the bets on the Rams. Both teams looking to advance with a win this week. What do you think, Huff? You want to start us?
Yeah, 49ers coming back home after a tough loss against the Broncos on primetime. Like you said, that 11-10 weird score. Tough game for Garoppolo there, but I do think it's going to be a tough situation for them to bounce back against the defending champs and the Rams, as they look like they've kind of gotten their feet wet in this season, starting to look like themselves again after that Super Bowl hangover Week 1. Tough matchup against the Bills. I think a lot of people were underplaying the Rams after that Week 1 matchup. I'm leaning Rams here, but I don't love it. I could definitely see the 49ers winning this game. Just right now, all the injuries on the 49ers, no Elijah Mitchell right now. Obviously, Garoppolo, kind of the inconsistencies we saw on Sunday. I know the 49ers defense is legit. The Rams defense is legit. I like the under. I think in this primetime game, we see under 42.5. But if I had to pick a side, I'd be leaning Rams. Nice, I just hit a fucking nerf feed. Another one. Let's go. Ace, what are you thinking on this one? 49ers or Rams?
We'd love to see that. But yeah, last game of the week, so my pick's definitely going to change when it comes down to Monday. Luckily, we get a solo Monday card for that, right? But yeah, if I'm picking right now, I'm leaning Niners money line at home. I think they tie up that division with the Rams. Matt Stafford is still not 100%, I don't think. Like you said, I do like the under, but I think guys like Kittle, Samuel, Jeff Wilson Jr. find the end zone this week for the Niners. They're going to put up 20+. And I don't think the Rams keep pace. Probably Cooper Kupp getting the end zone. That guy's always in. But I'm going to double down probably with that Kittle touchdown bet after missing out last week. I think he's up to speed now. And in the primetime, he'll get it done. I like the Niners right now. That defense is really... I know Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the best quarterback in the league, and he's been struggling mightily early on. But that defense is so good, and Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league. Jeff Wilson Jr. has been looking good as a backup running back. Debo, we know how he is, and Ayuk. And Kittle. They should be able to get it done for the boys in a big divisional matchup. I'm going to ride with the Niners.
Yeah, like I said, for good reason. I mean, I'm not necessarily loving the Rams. I like the under, though. I don't think we see a lot of points in this game.
Yeah, agreed for sure.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for our Week 4 analysis of the NFL. Super excited for this week. Make sure you keep an eye out for our picks Thursday, possibly some college football picks on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, as well as a little MLB maybe mixed in there as well. But that's all from me. Thanks for joining us this week. See you next week.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us here. See you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening. As Jesse said, stay tuned to the social media for all the picks. Make sure you're liking and sharing. Yeah, it's going to do it for me. See you guys next week.
Hey, make sure you get your prayers up for Mac Jones. Look out for our cards this week.
And that's going to do it for us this week on Hit the Books podcast. Thank you for all the support week in and week out. Please be sure to share and check out our various social media platforms and check out our website. All the info is located in our link tree in the description below. And always remember to hit the books.